Hello, hello, hello. I almost said good morning. That's how long of a week it's been over here, and it's Tuesday. So, good evening and good morning, everybody. Okay, we have a little bit of a wide variety of things to talk about tonight. So we are just going to get started. Um, First of all, are there any new ambassadors that are getting on tonight that we need to introduce? Does anybody have anybody coming that's new? Heat, Katie, anybody? No? Okay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that if new people are popping on, they get introduced. At least at the end, we'll make space for that. Okay. Um, Happy February. We made it. It is a new month. It is the 4th, so we are just kicking this month off, okay? I really want you guys to do some self-reflection. How was January for you guys? I don't know why it looks like my light is strobing in the camera, but it's not, I swear. Um, but I want you to think about how January was for you, okay? Um, our team is special because we really push to the limit at the end of the month. We have our Shackley chat popping. We have literally carts going and people signing up and new ambassadors up till 11:59 or midnight. I mean, like Amanda locked in Star Club at like midnight on the last day of the month, and it was like so many people were up that late, like cheering her on. Amber was working with her one-on-one, like not sleeping. Everyone was just like rallying. And it was the same thing the month before when Amber was like locking in director. And it's like crazy and it's exciting and it's fun. And then you are exhausted the next day. But it's a beautiful thing because when push comes to shove, our team gets it done. What I want you to think about is what if you worked with that effort, not staying up till midnight without that part, the whole month long. When I reflect on January, I absolutely can see that there is room for growth from the way that I showed up for my business. I definitely was consistent, but when I look back, I can see that there were some periods of time where I let my foot off the gas. And I just say that because it doesn't matter.
What are you doing, Aria? Come on.
Oh,
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 sorry.
it
What
doesn't
is
matter um what rank you hit in this business. It doesn't matter, how long you've been doing work like this. Everybody has room to grow. And I love to look back on a month and be like, what could I have done better? Because I know if I can fix, tweak, grow, make changes, and do that moving into the next month, it means more success for the whole team. If I can lead with example, right? More income, all of the things, right? And so there are a lot of leaders on this team. There are a lot of leaders who are learning about themselves on this team. And there are every single person has so much potential. And I'm literally watching all of you like learn that about yourself as you take on this business. And it's been amazing to watch. And I just want to remind you that just because you might have had an off month or you didn't maybe show up the way that you really are proud of or wanted to, just use that to motivate you for February because we are not stopping. We are pedal to the floor moving forward. This team is full of momentum. And so if there's room for growth, great. Take it as it is. Don't stay stuck in it and just let's move forward. February is a short month. So we almost have to work a little bit harder because we only have 28 days in the month to reach the goals that we had 31 days for. Okay. So just keep that in mind as we go through the days. Um, I had our Team Rail Recovery Director meeting. So that's the last Tuesday of the month. And it was nice to have all of the director leaders come together and just talk about how things are going. There is a lot. like I keep saying this over and over again, but there's a lot of leaders on this team, and it's a great thing. And one of the best things I think about our team is that there are so many opportunities, and you're not forced based on who your upline is to do any particular one. So I'll just give you a very easy example. Um, if I'm running a skincare group and Heather is running her hormone health group, and half my team is like, I really need to focus on hormone health, I can't do skincare this month. That is beautiful because we have leaders running groups and it's not one person, it's all of us. That is the beauty of Shackley. Every single time we run a group, it's Angela, it's Amanda, it's Marissa, it's Katie, it's everybody together who wants to be in that group running it together. Right? And so you get to pick. That's the joy. You get to pick, I want to do this month, or I want to do that. Like I did that last month, but I'm not going to do it this month, or I didn't do that. Now I want to hop in on it. And that's beautiful. And use that information to take pressure off of yourself. If you're like, I didn't like this group, or I don't want to do this group again, then don't. You have to find what you're passionate about. You have to find what lights that fire in you. And maybe it's nothing that we've done yet. If even if you're brand new, if you're like, I really like whatever it is, and we don't have a group for that, drop a message in the chat. Hey, does anyone want to admin a small group of this with me? And just step into your power as a leader there. Just because I didn't come up with it, or Amber didn't, or Heather didn't, like, that doesn't mean it can't be run. You guys have all been running groups with us for the most part, I mean, unless you're brand new since October or November, and you guys kind of get it. Like, you have the power as a leader on this team to be like, I want to do this group. I'm going to do this and do it. Right? Kim, I can't see her face on here, but she's a perfect example of this. She's brand new. And she just came in. She's like, I really want to do the cleanse. I'm going to run a cleanse group. Tell me what I got to do. How do I invite to it? How do I talk about it? And boom, she got three of her people and she's doing a cleanse group. It's that simple. Don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't need a bunch of graphics. You don't need, you know, people who've been in this business for 6 years to decide, hey, I'm going to gather a few friends and we're going to do this together. Okay. There's a lot of power in that, right? So, um, with that, we got to get organized. So, I talked about this on our live, and thank you to Courtney Johnson for the idea to share my screen. Thus is born our family calendar for Team Real Recovery. Okay, so I am not like super technologically savvy, and either Amber, Courtney, or Heather is going to have to help me with the admin for this. So, this is how this is going to work. And there's no rhyme or reason to the color coding. I just picked different colors so you guys could see the different groups. So I think there's so many groups that people are like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on, right? So everybody will have access to this calendar. Okay. So similarly, like Melanie Mitro runs her like marketing calendar. Well, that doesn't really help us when, Melanie Mitro is not really in our skincare groups and our protein groups and our hormone health groups. So we need to see within our downline, what do we have going on so that at the beginning of every month, you can say, I'm going to do this one and I'm going to do that one. And now I know exactly what's ahead of me and you can be planful for it, right? That's not to say that you can't pivot or change your mind, right? But you shouldn't get to the last day of enrollment and then be like, what are we inviting to next, right? Like, we're going to have a plan. We're going to know from the beginning of the month, like, we're going to be inviting to this at the beginning, or we're going to be running this month-long group, or maybe we have 4 1-week-long groups, right? And if new ideas come up, then whoever your director upline is, we'll add that to the calendar. So the directors and up will have access to edit the calendar, and everybody else will have access to see the calendar. And that just kind of creates a little bit of organization, right? So, like I said, we have a lot of different things going on. So, you can see all of our team calls are on here, and then the last week of the month will always be our director call for just our team. Um, now we, and I don't have everything on here yet, but, and I didn't know, Heather, I didn't know your exact dates for your hormone health group. I kind of took a guess, so we can edit them, but hormone health is like a month long, um, gig, or at least it was last month. So again, we can edit, but so we have that going on for February. We have our Life Shaken Vitamin Group enrollment. At least I think for the most part, all of us have ended enrollment for that. We start in less than a week. So Monday, you can see it in blue right here. And we're running that for 7 days. And then we're jumping right into our skincare group. I dropped the admin chat in our Shackley chat. Anyone is welcome to join. Again, just a reminder, if you're inviting to a group, you are admin of that group. It's not like, well, do I want to help run it? You are helping run it. That's just part of being on this team. And a lot of our different groups were doing like different raffles or giveaways, whether you donate $5 or $10 or whatever the group decides. Please remember to keep track of that. Like keep a Google Note or a document or whatever for tax purposes, because all of that should be written off at the end. Anything that you invest into your business, down to the product that you spend, down to the ring lights that you buy, down to the giveaways that you do, it is all write-offs. Okay? So just keep that in mind. So you can see all the different groups, and if I'm missing one, again, please let your upline director know so that we can get that added on here. Um, Now, this month we have webinars, and I'm just going to keep the calendar up so you can kind of see it as I'm talking about it. So, Melanie has coordinated 3 webinars. The first one is the hormone health webinar, and that is going to be led by, I believe, Melanie and her downline. Then I could be mixing the two. Then we have non-toxic living, and that's going to be Jamie Fitzpatrick and the downline. And then again, the wellness webinar, and that's going to be Jamie and the downline. So, what are these webinars? These webinars are informational. They're not going to be run like the extravaganza where we're crashing the system and people are making purchases by the end of the night and you have to do this in order to get this giveaway and all of these points. It's merely like, imagine somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, I'm really interested in what you have to offer as far as vitamins. Or I'm really interested in what you're doing, Heather, with like your hormone health group. I'm really overwhelmed by the website. Like there are 300 products on there. I'm just really overwhelmed by it. I can't keep it all straight. Or maybe you have somebody who's like, hey, I'm interested in being an ambassador. But I don't know. I just feel like I don't know how to talk about the products. Okay, well, what kind of products do you want to launch your business with? What are you mostly interested? Well, I think I'm interested in skincare. Okay, why don't you come to our non-toxic living webinar? Because skincare and all of the other non-toxic things that we offer are going to be explained. So it's education, right? It's to help people understand what we have to offer. And of course, we anticipate that these webinars will result in sales, right? Because people will hear about the product similarly to the extravaganza and then hopefully be making their purchases or enrolling as ambassadors. And at the end of every single webinar, there will be a very small few minutes about just the business opportunity, right? And that's something that we are never going to stop talking about. That is the biggest money maker in this business, and that is going to be on every extravaganza and every info call and every webinar. So if you have people, I say that because if you have people who are on the fence, get them on these calls. Find out what they're mostly interested in and get them on the webinar. I plan to be on all of them, just because, you know, I still think we're all new. Like, there's a lot of stuff I don't know how to talk about with this company. And I think every time we do an extravaganza or anytime we do an info call, I feel like I'm just constantly learning something new. So here is how it is kind of anticipated that we will market these webinars. Okay. So starting pretty much tomorrow, and there's a team call tomorrow where this will all be addressed. But starting tomorrow, we are going to start to invite to this one. Oops, that's going to be on the 12th. So the hormone health webinar. And we're going to have the 1 week prior to really talk about, hey, if you're interested in hormone health or, the supplements that could help with hormone health or, what do we have to offer in the realm of hormone health, come join our call, right? Of course, everything will be recorded, which will be great resources for us to send out to people who are curious, like, hey, I was interested in this, couldn't get on the call. What do you have to offer? Here's an info video, right? Instead of sending the whole wellness product video, it's like, oh, here's hormone health, here's non-toxic living, here's wellness, right? And so as soon as that one is done, so starting the next day or the next weekend, we are then going to start talking about the next webinar and so on and so forth. Then we do the non-toxic living on the 19th, invite to that, finish that out. Starting the 20th or the 21st, now we're finishing out the month with our wellness. So again, hormone health is hormone health. Non-toxic living will be cleaning products, skincare, and some beauty, just FYI. And then wellness will be like Energize, collagen, Good Gut and Go, the Cheer Up and Chill Out gummies. I think the tea. Um, I think collagen and Up and Glowing are going to be in there, but it's like the staples. Vitamins, meology, all of that will be involved in the wellness one. So if you guys have people who took like the vitamin quiz, um, and they were like really interested in what their options are, or just like someday, like I've had a lot of people say like, "Oh, I'm very curious about the vitamin options," and then I'm like, all this information, and then they don't ever get anything. So this would be a really good video to send them or to get them on this call. Okay, so that is the calendar. Let me pull my list back up. Okay, so when we are talking about being planful and showing up with effort for February. Okay. Um, I did a live today in the new Elevate Wellness page, and it was about like healthy hustle and hustle culture. And I think the idea of hustle culture really gets a bad rap because people assume that it means that you're like somehow burning yourself out or you're burning the candle at both ends. But hustle culture on this team really means showing up and working hard and doing that consistently. Okay, so it doesn't mean burning yourself out or making this your entire life or, putting your kids on the back burner, right? But you have to really look at your work schedule. And you have to really ask yourself, am I showing up? Am I working hard? Am I doing it consistently? Okay, so I'm just gonna pick on Heat right now. Heather, my girl Heather Green. She does this full time, right? She has been doing this kind of work for a very long time. And she has created boundaries around her weekends because she has so many beautiful children who are present with us tonight. And that means that she is not as present in working her business, sometimes on Saturday, sometimes on Sunday, but she is giving it 200% Monday through Friday, right? I use that as an example because if you are somebody who is not showing up Monday through Friday consistently and you have big goals, then your action forward mindset and your basic action shouldn't be sleeping in on the weekends or not showing up on the weekends because you had a long week, right? And this is where you have to decide what your goals are and what's important to you. This is not me pushing or pressuring. This is if you have big goals, and there are a lot of people on this team that do. We have people who are working towards director. We have people who are working to rank advanced past director. We have people who are here trying to grow their team. We have people who are here trying to cover their products. And even that, covering your products is a big goal. Okay. And if you are putting off your work and not showing up during the work week, but then you're not also showing up on the weekends, your action isn't matching. Okay. So I wanted to give you guys a couple ideas on some small changes that as a team we can make to make sure that we are really showing up in February with a very action forward mindset. Okay. So one of the things that we talked about on our director call is that sometimes we are seeing people, especially who come from the body community, um, still showing up on social media like they're in the body community. And what I mean by that is we have people who um, use the laundry detergent and use vitamins every single day. But what we're seeing on their on your stories, on their stories is workouts. And I think it's just so ingrained in here. It's all of us. It's it's like we were like, be proof of the product, be proof of the product. And showing our workouts is just habit. So we're still showing the energize, we're still showing the shakes, but we're missing this entire world of opportunity over here. And it's stuff that we're doing as moms and as busy women every single day, like washing our clothes, like cleaning our countertops, right? Like throwing on some makeup, washing our face, right? Those are the things that we have to start making more consistent to align a little bit better with this business, right? Because we're not selling challenge packs anymore. We're showing wellness beyond workouts, and we have to show wellness beyond workouts. So just another reminder that, maybe if you're somebody, and I'm not I'm in this. I'm grouping myself in this. If you're somebody who likes to show your workout and then chat, maybe try to prioritize, and I'm really trying to be better about this, doing your chat while you're doing your skincare routine or showing up with your new laundry detergent or your new cleaning products and chatting while you're on stories while you're using those things instead of just workouts, right? Because, and I noticed it for myself because I had people messaging me when I'm talking about my new Shackley group saying, "What workout are you doing right now?" And I'm like, "No, is that what you got out of this? No, no, no. I'm talking about skincare, but I'm doing my workout, right? So if I'm going to talk about skincare, I'm going to do skincare and I'm going to show up doing my new skincare routine, right? Like we have to make that shift. So just, I know I talked about it last month, but again, another reminder that this is different and we have to show different. So another way that you can be action forward for February is showing up differently on social media. And specifically, we have to address our community groups. Okay. Show of hands, if 90 to 100% of your enrollments are because of your community group posts. Yeah, not me either. Not me either. Um, Raise your hand if 90 to 100% of your enrollments come from directly inviting. All of your hands should be in there, right? That's where the sale happens, is when you're talking to people. So, here's one way that we can pivot. If you are somebody who is prioritizing wellness group posts, and there is not one guilty people, there are many guilty people. We have to pivot. If you look at your wellness group and you have gone live in there and you are showing up like a boss and you are sharing recipes and you have posts that you have taken from maybe Heather or Amber or my page or Jamie's page, or you're sharing free recipes and you're giving value, but your page you haven't posted on since January 14th, I'm just making up a date. That is a problem. I know that might feel like a gut check. We have to prioritize posting on social media daily. If you miss a day or two, Okay, I do. But I try to be very consistent. I'm not saying you have to show up 7 days a week and make 7 posts every single week or your business isn't going to move forward. No, I'm saying prioritize it there. Okay. So if you have shared in your wellness community, um, let's say your skincare that you're doing. I'm just using skincare as an example. But there's nothing on your social media feed. I'm not talking stories. I'm talking feed, posts, posting. Okay. That is a problem. I have significantly less people and eyes on my community group page than I do on my main social media, right? I think that's true for all of us. We had social media first, we created our community group second. They're smaller. Okay. So if you're sharing likewise about the business opportunity, things like our business opportunity info calls or even our extravaganzas, and they're all in your wellness communities, and none of that is trickling over to your main feed, you're doing it wrong. You're prioritizing it wrong. Okay. We have to start showing up where people can see us. It is very safe to show up in our wellness communities because it's smaller. And a lot of us, I think, like when we started these communities, it was like, I'm going to like kind of dip my toe into the pond of going live. And it was like uncomfortable. And it was a really good place to start. But dipping our toe in and doing things like planning, getting organized, um, getting a feel for things, that's a very short-term activity. And I think sometimes when we're a little bit afraid to step outside of our comfort zone, it becomes a long-term activity. And then we lose sight of what actually moves our businesses forward. Okay? Um, and I'm gut checking you because I got gut checked as well. So, um, everything that I'm sharing with you guys is something that I've learned and I've had to make changes and I've seen really positive results from doing that. So, one thing that was helpful to me, and I don't even think I still have them, but um, and I shared this on our director call. So if your director has asked you to do this, there's a reason, there's a method to the madness, okay? So if you're somebody who is like, I'm doing all the work and I'm not getting the results that I feel align with that level of work, I want you to take a week-long span and I want you to, grab a notebook like this and just write down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And every single time that you sit down to work the business, I want you to make yourself a note. Saturday, noon to 12:30, send invites to skincare group. Saturday, 8 p.m., sent 3 business invites. Uh, Monday, posted reel on business. Tuesday, posted in my community group, right? And so I did this activity and it was eye-opening for me. Number one, that I get distracted. I do too many things at once and it takes me longer to finish a task, which isn't an effective use of my time. Two, sometimes I get so caught up in checking in with other people and checking all the different chats and doing all of the things that I start to invite and then I switch to helping somebody and then I never get back to my invites. Helping people, right? If you're a leader on this team, gut check, it is important. But you also have to prioritize your own business and be action forward, right? Are you getting in your invites? Are you inviting to the business? Are you posting on social media? And so if you're somebody who, again, is saying like my success isn't lining up with the effort I'm feeling putting in, let's look at what actions you are doing and see where we can tweak them. And so if you're, thinking, I think I might want to do this activity, I didn't want to do it. I'm just gonna be honest. I was like, was not interested in that. But I was told I had to do it by one of my mentors, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And within 24 to 48 hours, I was like, I can see that I have some growing to do, right? And it was like eye-opening, right? So whoever your upline is, that's who you would send your list to. Um, and so if your upline comes to you and says, time for an activity, it's because you feel like you're putting in the effort and you're not getting the outcome. Okay? It's to help you. It's to help you grow. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about anything I've covered so far? Okay. All right. Just a couple of last little things I want to talk about, and then we will be done. Um, I want to address warm and cold market. And it's important to talk about this because I just want to reframe it a little bit and just offer a different way of thinking about it for you guys. I think when people come in, it's a little bit of a shock that, wow, my family and my friends really don't frickin' support me. It's like, am I alone over here? No, everybody on this call has felt that or is like feels that or has made peace with that after years of feeling that, right? So it's like I think it's very shocking for new people. And so they immediately assume that their warm market is dead. And that's the piece that we need to redirect and reframe, really. We are going to create a new group. We have our warm market, we have our cold market, and we're going to call it our hot market. Our hot market is the people that are closest to us in our life that we think should be supporting us, that we expect will support us, and don't show up. Okay? We're not talking about them. So if you feel unsupported by your friends and family, your warm market is not dead. And that is what we need to expand upon, okay? Your warm market is not dead. Your phone, if you're anything like me, you have contacts in here that you haven't thought about, looked at, communicated with. Maybe it's even some people you're like, I don't even know who the fuck that is, right? Like, I know I do, right? Warm market. This is your warm market. Okay. I was warm marketing through my phone for extravaganza purposes, and I was like, oh, my Aunt Linda. Never would have thought to invite her. Never would have thought about it. Like, but she showed up to the extravaganza. She got some mascara and she supported me. And I was like, wow, not my hot market, not my closest, but that's warm market. They're people that you already knew at some point in your life when you joined this business. Okay. When we think warm market, a lot of times we think our very, very closest friends. I want you to go beyond that. What about friends of friends? Okay. Sometimes we think our very closest coworkers. What about other people that you work with that you wouldn't hang out with on the weekends or that you haven't hung out with? People, they're cordial with you, right? You see them at work, you exchange hellos, how are yous, you know? They're your acquaintances. That's your warm market. These are people you see every single day. That's your warm market. What about if your kids are playing sports and there are other moms that you kind of chit chat with while you're watching? That's your warm market. It's your uncomfortable warm market. You don't want to have those conversations maybe if you're nervous and you're new, but that's your warm market. Cold market are your strangers. Cold market are people who you're meeting on social media and you're connecting with them based on what they're posting, right? Which brings me to my next topic. We get to do this business differently. So when it comes to connecting, you get to be picky choosy. You get to decide who you want to pull from the cold market to be your warm market. If you guys are looking for new people to connect with, and it's something I've been working with like a few of you very specifically on how to find certain people that you can relate to more on social media. If you come across a page and you're like, I don't even know what to say to this person, don't. You don't have to connect with dead ass accounts that don't make you go, ooh, this is my person, right? You're like, this person hasn't posted since 2021, but they liked one of my posts and I just don't know what to do. You don't have to force it. Now, I'm not giving you an excuse to be like, I have no one to connect with, right? If that's how you feel and you're like looking at people's pages and you're like, I just don't relate to you, right? Like it may be, I think it was actually Kristen that I was talking to. We were talking about who's on our social media. Like, how are these people on here? Why did I connect with them at some point in time? Because I'm different. And where did they come from, right? It's like, okay, well, let's go find our people. If you've changed and you've evolved and you've grown or you've started a new lifestyle, where are those people? Because those are the people it's going to be easy to connect with, right? Like she's on a dye-free journey with her son. You know how many other moms out there? There are pages for that kind of stuff, Facebook groups. You just request access and you go in and you're like, these are my people, right? What about this recipe? Did you hear about this? Did you know about this? Like that's easy. It's not like, so we haven't talked in 7 years, but I see like your kids are 7 years older now. Yeah. Like it's like that's hard. Like it's uncomfortable. It's awkward. Like, you don't have to force that stuff. Find the accounts that make you go, oh my God, if I met you in real life, you would be my people. And sometimes that is what I say. I will shoot them a voice note and be like, yo. You don't have to say yo, but that's what I say. I'm like, yo, I just stumbled upon your account and I think you're fucking cool. And I just like laugh at myself and I'm like, I really like your vibe. I like that you're a geriatric mom like me. Like, we should probably be friends on here. And they're like, yeah, 45 and pregnant, baby. And I'm like, okay. Like, I mean, those are my people right now, my old ass moms, right? So, like, go find whoever that is for you. Like, Amber, you're twin moms, right? Like, Marissa, you're you're an open heart surgery survivor. Like, you're a cancer survivor. Everybody has their thing, right? Like, everybody has their thing, right? So go find your people and have fun with it because we don't have to have desperate energy on this team. We don't have to plug holes like we're back in the Beachbody days. We don't have to like create fake accounts to try to hold rank or pull people in or ask family members to support us. Nope, we're not doing any of that shit. We're doing it different. And we're doing it in a way that feels very, very good. So show up, work really hard this month if that is your goal. If you want to make enough money to cover your products, show up. Show up for yourself. Show up for your own business, right? Show up like you are pushing for something at the end of the month. Show up like your freaking team depends on you, right? Show up because you like this company and you want to be here and work hard and plug in when you're plugged in, right? Like if you're like, I said I was going to work today and I didn't get anything done, then stop what you're doing and go get your work done, right? Set your alarm an hour earlier. Get up on the weekends. Don't sleep in. Like, find the time, make the time, prioritize the time if it's important to you. Okay. I'm never going to pressure you guys to do something that isn't circling back around to your own goal, right? So you have to really decide what that is, get with your upline and get after that shit. So we have a lot of really exciting stuff happening. Um, if you guys haven't caught the live that I did it in the Team Real Recovery group, go catch it. I think all of you have requested access into Jamie's new group. If you haven't, please go catch the live. It kind of explains the whole thing, has the link to the group in there. Please make sure you're answering the questions. So, like, again, like, and Amanda, you did this great. I'm just guinea pigging you right now. I'm not her upline. Amber is, so she had to put like her upline is Amber slash me, right? Since I'm directly under Jamie, so you just have to say whoever. Katie, you just signed up a new ambassador. If you get her into that group, make sure she puts your name slash my name. It's the only way that they're letting people in. If the questions are blank, those are getting deleted and you have to redo it. So, just wanted to clarify a couple of things about what this means for us moving forward. And I think I did address it a little bit in the live. But it means that you guys do not have to invite to that group and the big, big, big team page where there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of people. You don't have to. You can. Again, your business, your choice. But this is, and I think I said it in the live, is like we like our neighbors, but we're leaving the compound. We're moving down the street to a house with woods and a little bit of privacy. Like that is what we're doing. And it's a little bit smaller, it's a little bit more personal, it's a little bit more our team, right? There's a lot of other teams. If you're a director, this is your permission to leave the director chat. Okay? The big one. Don't leave our chat. I need you. But you can leave the big one. There's some kind of some weird stuff that happens in there sometimes. You can bounce. This is your permission. There's a lot of personalities and flavors. That's my word of the day in that chat. Okay. Not everybody operates how our team operates, which is ethically, with value, honestly, and good intention. You will never hear me say one bad thing about you guys, ever. That is not always the case with other teams. Some teams are not as nice as us. So, if you don't like the vibe of the big, big chat, bounce. This is your permission. So there will be an equivalent with Jamie's team. Jamie, Jamie's new director chat, essentially. Um, and I trust because I have this like, oh, but what if I miss something? Like I'm always like, oh, like what if I don't have all the info? Um, I trust that Jamie will make sure we have what we need. Um, and I'm just gonna trust the process. So, any questions? You guys excited about February? I am really excited about February. We're gonna take a picture. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna end the call before we take our picture.